Good morning, good evening, wherever you are across the nation and around the globe. This is Beacon News, and I am your host, Kelly Robertson. Today, we're going to discuss some interesting, very effective, and probably right in your kitchen or your home somewhere, remedies. We're going to bring it back to home. So, I want to start off with talking about coffee grounds. Something that everyone just throws in the trash and thinks nothing more about. But did you know? I bet most of you did. Coffee grounds make a great fertilizer. I'm sure at least you remember your parents putting it in the compost, or your grandparents. The reason it's great fertilizer is because it's very rich in sulfur, nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus. You can even use your coffee grounds on your steak to tenderize it before you cook it. I haven't tried that, but I hear that it's pretty effective. You can use it to remove odors. You can put it in small sachets and set it in stinky lockers or stinky bathrooms, or in your refrigerator where you have odors, or in stinky tennis shoes, or whatever else is stinky. And it absorbs the odor. How cool is that? I love it. You can also use it for a face and a skin exfoliator. All you do is mix it with a little bit of water and rub it around in a nice little circular motion on your skin, and then rinse with cool water. You can use it to clean your stainless steel pots and pans on the bottoms that have the nasty burnt stains to them. Use the coffee grounds instead of the steel wool and save your stainless steel some scratches. You can even use it inside of your pots and pans and your casserole dishes and whatever else has things that are dried, baked on, and it will help to remove them very easily and quickly. And I actually do use that one. It's amazing. You can apply a thick paste of coffee grounds underneath your eyes to remove those dark circles and that puffiness. The caffeine in it does wonders. It's also a great insect repellent. It can repel ants, spiders, mosquitoes, gnats, slugs, and even rabbits. That's right. Put your coffee grounds around your home, around your deck, around your swimming pool, out in your garden, and you are going to be bug-free for the most part, because a lot of the bugs just don't like the smell, period. It's also great to use as a natural hair dye. For all of you ladies who like to use the dark hair dyes, and personally, anytime I've ever dyed my hair dark, I don't like to use the chemical dark hair dyes. They, more likely than the others, will have the skin allergy reactions, the chemical reactions with your skin that are quite nasty. I don't know if any of you are aware of that, but it is quite nasty of an allergic reaction. It can even make your eyes swell up. So coffee grounds, use them as a natural dye. You would simply add 1 part coffee to 2 parts warm water and apply it to your hair. For people who are graying in their beard, their hair, whatever, this is for men and women. It's a great thing to use to hide the gray. And did I say it's good for fleas? Because it's good for fleas. It's good to keep fleas off of you. It's also great to make in a mist and spray in your grass or spray on your pets. Perfectly safe for them. Spray it around your ankles before you go outside. Really bad fleas, and this seems to be a really bad year for all of the bloodsuckers. So that's why I actually was inspired to do this particular show, because I want you to know that there are very easy, very effective, and very inexpensive things right in your household that can help with so many things this summer and beyond throughout all the seasons. So those are great things to use your coffee grounds on. And I also wanted to mention, I had said that it's good to use in your pots and pans, but coffee grounds are actually very good to use to clean your sinks and your tubs as well, without a lot of elbow grease. I hate getting tennis elbow from cleaning my tub. So between the magic eraser thing and the coffee grounds, I get mine out of the way quick. I clean it. So now we're going to move on to tea tree oil just for a moment. I just really have to give props and credit where it is due for tea tree oil. It's so effective. You can use it in its pure concentrated state right on your skin. It doesn't harm you at all. It has a strong smell to it, much like eucalyptus. But if you just use little dabs of it, it's not too offensive to your nose. But guess what? It's extremely offensive to all of the bloodsuckers, smellers, the fleas, the lice, the scabies, the ticks, the mosquitoes, and even parasites hate tea tree oil. But for God's sakes, don't ingest it. Don't think you can get rid of intestinal parasites by drinking tea tree oil. Do not do that. That's a very, very bad idea. Like I would tell my kids, that is bad news bears. Now, I want to move on to touching on 9 very effective ways to deal with those pesky ants. Of course, I've mentioned the coffee grounds, which is very effective. But if you would prefer to use other things, I have 8 other items on this list. Number 1 would be cinnamon. Why cinnamon? Same thing as coffee. They hate the smell. Citrus. Any kind of fruit, scent of citrus, or an oil that is citric will do the trick. Put your lemon peels, your orange peels in your corners, and that'll get rid of spiders too, by the way, because spiders also do not like citrus. And in the summertime, here where I live, we have a lot of issues with ants and spiders, particularly the brown recluse. So yes, I have orange peels in my corners and my closets and various places. It's also good for running off mice that want to come in out of the field. And then 3 on the list is the coffee grounds, because they are highly acidic and their smell is just impassable to them. They just can't stand it. White vinegar is also another great one. Also, again, because of the smell. And you can use this in a spray form, where you would mix 1 cup of water with 1/4 cup of vinegar into a spray bottle and just mist it wherever you need it. Vinegar, by the way, as a side note, is very beneficial in so many more ways. So we're going to circle around back to it in a moment. Cayenne pepper or black pepper are also very good to use for ants as well as roaches. Roaches can't stand it. So if you've got a roach problem, inside or out, just sprinkle around some cayenne pepper or plant you some wonderful little plants in pots with peppers in them, and it will keep the roaches away, guaranteed. Cloves are also another smeller that the ants cannot stand, but you would need to crush the cloves in order for them to appropriately work. Peppermint essential oil, also another smeller for this feller that doesn't want to be around it. But you would put this in a spray bottle as well, or put some on a cotton, like a cotton ball or something, to put in your cabinet drawers or, wherever ants are an issue. Cedar also we're all familiar with moths being ran off. The moths in the house don't like the cedar. Our grandparents used to hang like a cedar plank of wood in the closet to protect the clothing, but you can also use them to ward off ants. Cucumber or cucumber water is also another great ant deterrent, as well as a cat deterrent. Ironically enough, if you don't like cats and you don't want them around your house, keep something around that smells like cucumber. For whatever reason, they are terrified of that smell. I think it reminds them of the scent of a snake. I think that's what my dad told me once, is that there's a certain snake that smells like cucumbers. So these cats, cats are just deathly afraid of cucumber smell, but ants are not a fan either. So you would soak the cucumber peelings overnight in a gallon of water and then add some to your spray bottle and spray at will. Now we're going to move back around to the vinegar for a moment, because vinegar is the number one staple in my home. I use it in my cooking. I use it in my cleaning. I use it in the ingredients of making my shampoos and conditioners from home. Vinegar is so beneficial in so many ways. It's great to take a teaspoon of if you've got indigestion. Instead of reaching for a Tums or a Rolade, take a teaspoon of vinegar. It's amazing. It works so fast on heartburn and indigestion. It's incredible. But make sure you get the pure vinegar for that. That still has what they call the mother in it. It's got the pulp. That's the kind you want for internal indigestion problems. It's also really great for making your digestive tract function properly. If you have IBS or any of those kind of issues, a teaspoon of vinegar before your meal will help you to digest it more appropriately. Similar to eating parsley, which was the whole point of putting the little parsley sprig on our plate, back in the day. Don't do that anymore because nobody was eating it. They didn't know what good it was. But if you eat it, it actually aids your digestion. Vinegar is also another really great way to sanitize and clean. When I'm cutting chicken on the counter, and yes, I put it on the counter, I don't typically use my cutting board because I just don't have enough time to do all that. I'm usually throwing down, cooking it up. I make a mean meal. I'm a great cook. I love to cook. But when I have to clean it up in a flash because I'm flying around doing 1,000 things at a time every day, I reach for the jug of vinegar or my spray bottle. I spray it on the counter where I've cut my chicken, wipe it up with a dish rag, and boom, it's sanitized. If your kids have the flu or something and you've got germs all over your house, clean them with vinegar. I'm serious. I mean, it's so cheap to obtain it, to buy it, and it goes a long way. I use a quarter cup per cup of water. Quarter cup of vinegar per cup of water. I also use vinegar in my coffee pot. I have a bun that stores the water in the tank all the time. The water builds up the hard water minerals in it. And so eventually my 3-minute pot of coffee doesn't have 3 minutes on it anymore. It's more like 5 minutes or 7 minutes or 10 because the minerals are building up. So I'll take a pot, I'll fill it up almost all the way full of water, and I'll put a quarter cup of vinegar in it, run it through my coffee pot, flush it about 5 times, some pure water, and voila, the mineral deposits are completely cleaned out of the whole system and my coffee pot is running smooth again. I've had the same coffee pot for 15 years. And it still looks brand new because I use vinegar. Vinegar is like the nectar of the gods, in my opinion. It's so great for so many things. It's a great skin conditioner. It's a great cleaner for wounds. If you don't have alcohol and peroxide, use your vinegar. Yes, it's going to burn like the alcohol. Just blow on it like we always did for everything else. Blow on it to cool off the burn, right? It's also very good for sunburns, ironically. So if you don't have aloe vera or aloe vera gel handy and you've got a sunburn, put some in your hand and rub it on your sunburn. It's amazingly great for cooling down the skin. It's great as a hair conditioner, believe it or not, and the smell dissipates. Everybody's like, I don't want to use that in my hair. I don't want to smell like pickles. But it really does dissipate in like 5 minutes. You can't smell it anymore. And it's so great for your hair. So great. I mean, like, amazing. It'll make it shiny, gets rid of the frizz, and makes it soft and conditioned. So vinegar is like one of my all-time favorite things to use as an all-purpose item. It is definitely always a staple in my home, as is Epsom salt. Because getting to more summertime activities, Epsom salt is something to have around for all of those twists and sprains and sore muscles and pulled, inflamed joints that you may have. Whether you've been active or not, if you're hurting, if your body is hurting, stick it in some Epsom salt water. It's amazing. It has magnesium in it that soaks straight into your skin, that helps to heal and improve the overall pain management of injuries and ailments. All right, so moving right along. What else do I have? Oh, right, I wanted to share my blog. How do I do that in this? Okay, so I have some really great stuff on my blog on the website. And by the way, anybody can write stuff on my blog. It's not just for me to write. So I want to talk about gelatin for a moment, because gelatin is amazing. And of course, first and foremost, I want to say that the very best way to obtain gelatin and ingest it is through bones, bone broth, like beef bone broth soup or chicken bone broth soup. That is the very best way to obtain your gelatins that are good for so many things that we're getting ready to cover, okay? And it's delicious too, just like Grandma's homemade soup. So I'm just going to read through this really quickly for you, and if you want to look at it closer, you're welcome to go to the website, to the blog, and check it out for yourself. It even has a cool little shimmering, active photograph of Jell-O on a plate, shaking back and forth. It's pretty neat. So what good is gelatin, and where is it derived from? Gelatin is one of those things that does not get its fair justice. It is derived from the collagen within the bones of animals, and it is incredibly pertinent to our well-being and health. So much so that it was used by our ancestors and our elders almost daily, if not actually daily. Our grandparents understood its vital importance and benefits to our continuing health. Now, not only will it provide your muscles and bones the proper nutrients that they need to remain healthy, it actually repairs torn muscle tissue. That's right. It strengthens your joints, adding that much needed cartilage back to allow the freedom of movement and remove inflammation. Hello, anybody who's got a autoimmune disorder, all of those are created from inflammation. So take note and pay attention, please. I'm going to move this light just a smidge because it's right in my eyes. Excuse me. It is a great remedy for rheumatoid arthritis, which is what I have. I was diagnosed at the age of 23, and they told me if I didn't start to take all of their pharmaceuticals immediately, that by the time I was 30, I would be crippled in my hands and my feet. I can tell you to this very day, I've never taken one single pill. And I'm still moving. Really, really, really well. Thank you very much. And I'll be 50 this year. Soon, in a couple of weeks. So it's great for rheumatoid arthritis and osteoarthritis and osteoporosis. It removes inflammation and allows for the freedom of movement within the joints. It ends the worry of brittle bone disease. It even corrects leaky gut syndrome, guys, adding the layer of gelled fluid that is needed in promoting good gut health, so that so many lack in today's world due to their diets. And that is very true. It's very true. And it actually repairs the intestines. It repairs the intestines, guys, from the inside out. Gelatin. That stuff we used to eat as kids. Come on. And speaking of diets, did you know that you can use gelatin as a diet aid enhancer as well? Simply eating a few ounces of this beautiful product daily will metabolize your fats and make you shed the pounds without ever even exercising. That sounds pretty fantabulous if you ask me. I'll gladly eat a bowl of Jell-O over exercising any day. True story. As I'm sure most of you know, it is very beneficial to having great, strong hair, nails, and skin as well. But it actually slows the aging process of the skin, hair, and nails down. It slows it down. So it's like an anti-aging, anti-inflammatory, anti-fat, all-around great thing to have in your body, man. Who wouldn't want to have some Jell-O? On a cellular level, it is slowing down your aging process. And to think, gelatin could easily be a sort of fountain of youth that we've always searched for. No wonder my 87-year-old grandmother didn't look a day over 45. Her skin was so soft and supple as a baby's butt. And that's a true story. And it's great for your teeth, too. Did you know that? That's why so many of our ancestors didn't have such awful tooth decay and tooth issues as we face today. Well, and they also didn't have fluoride toothpaste and fluoride in their water, fluoride everywhere else. But that's a different soapbox to be on. I digress. So, moving right along. Gelatin also aids in the removal of toxins from your body via the liver. It aids in constipation and digestion as well. And it's actually a really great source of protein. So for all of you vegetarians out there that don't want to eat your meat, have some gelatin. Seriously, have some yummy cherry-flavored gelatin. Get those important, vital nutrients that you can only get from animal bone protein. That's where you're going to get the best stuff. So, what else we got here? Here it is. Really great source of protein, because there's actually 6 grams of protein per tablespoon in gelatin. That's incredible. That's incredible. 1 tablespoon of gelatin, and you've got 6 grams of protein in it. That's amazing. It's also very beneficial for ending diarrhea. And by the way, so is applesauce. A lot of people don't know that. Applesauce will also help you to stop having your diarrhea, and will also aid you in not feeling like you're going to throw up or vomit, as will the gelatin. Very good for diarrhea, very good for vomiting, and it aids in replenishing the electrolytes and liquids that are needed when you're having those issues already. So it's also great to give to anyone who has a fever, which is, now I understand why my mother always offered me gelatin when I was ill. I get it now. I totally get it. She was way smarter than I gave her credit for. God love her. So yes, very beneficial for diarrhea, vomiting, replenishing your electrolytes, and even for fevers. It works great, it's very fast, it's very effective, and it never ever interacts with any kind of medications that you would be taking. It's even perfectly safe to give to babies. You can give it to them in the liquid form, diluted of course, in a bottle if they're little babies. Just mix up the gelatin just the way that it would say to mix it up, to put it in the refrigerator to make it gel. But instead of putting it in there to gel, add extra water content to it. Give some to your babies in their bottles and sippy cups, and it'll help them to get better quickly. You can also do that with diluted chicken broth, chicken soup broth. The glycine in gelatin, which is a natural sugar, a beautiful natural sugar that's water-based sugar, is actually a great sleep aid as well. Who thunk it? Something that has the word sugar in it could help you go to sleep? Surely you jest. I do not. Instead of reaching for the melatonin or the sleep aids on the counter, sleep aids on the counter, I don't know why I can't talk right. Reach for some gelatin instead. I'll gladly eat my bowl of flavored Jell-O over taking any over-the-counter drug or any other medications for that matter. Because I'm a very strong, opinionated person in the thoughts that if God didn't make it, I don't want it. So in closing, I would like to point out that there are many, many beneficial ways to obtain your daily dose of gelatin, and your daily dose of protein, and your daily dose of anti-aging, anti-diarrhea, all kinds of good stuff we need to have help for. Some people have texture issues with Jell-O desserts, and I get it. That's just fine. I totally get it. But you can use gelatin in various dishes or drinks. It also comes in a powder form, as well as a liquid that's completely unflavored. It has many name brands that it goes by. But of course, one of the most commonly known names would be Sure Gel, that I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with, our parents or grandparents purchasing when they were picking the fresh berries and making jellies and jams, because you need the Sure Gel in order to do that. And even jalapenos. And matter of fact, that was like the best jelly I've ever had, I swear, was jelly made of jalapenos. It was amazing, and I certainly didn't expect it to be. You can also get bone broth at the store already prepared. Comes in little cartons like the chicken broths would come in, but it's bone broth instead. You can get it in bouillon form. It comes in all flavors of beef, chicken, pork, deer, etc. All animals have it in their bones, including you. That's why you need it. That's why it's so beneficial to you. The old-fashioned way to get it was to boil the meat till it fell off the bone and save the stock for making the soup or the gravy or the broth for the dish of choice that you are preparing. The fat, as they call it, that floats to the top, that most people actually scoop out and off and discard it away. is the pure concentrated gelatin in its natural form. If you save that, you can use it for all sorts of practical things, or leave it in the soup or whatever meal you've prepared and enjoy it in the meal. It is what's adding that wonderful flavor to all of your food and the most important health benefits that come from eating homemade foods as well. So I will conclude with my gelatin rant by saying that I hope I've given gelatin its fair and due respect and given all of the viewers a reason to appreciate it on an even deeper level of understanding, just as our ancestors once did. Now, I would also like to share with you the incredible benefits of cinnamon. Cinnamon is so great, guys. So great. I even use it in my plants to keep the mold and fungus out of the soil of my plants. All right. Let's talk everything cinnamon. Well, almost everything. One of the oldest and greatest herbs, spices known to man. Yet most do not know how much cinnamon can do and how important it really is in our daily life. So now, let's begin with the health benefits of cinnamon. Let's just start there. Number one, it naturally lowers your blood sugar. So if you're a diabetic or hypoglycemic, in any form, it is good for you, whether you're sucking on a cinnamon stick, using cinnamon that's powdered on your foods, or even in the extract form. It is immensely effective at lowering blood sugar. So for all of you who are like me that are hypoglycemic, which means you naturally have lower blood sugar than you should, high metabolism, low blood sugar, be aware of your body's responses to your sugars leveling out, dropping if you've taken too much. I would not recommend the capsules of cinnamon for hypoglycemics. Diabetics, yes, take the capsule of cinnamon. It's got chromium in it that you also need that helps to regulate the pancreas and the sugar levels that your blood is making. But for people who have hypoglycemia, it's fine to eat all the cinnamon that you want. It really is. Just don't take those capsules because that's like 1,000 milligrams or something. 1,000 grams, 1,000 milligrams. I forget what it is. But it's a lot. It's too much for someone that's hypoglycemic. So it naturally metabolizes the blood sugar. It's also a natural coagulant. Hear that again. It's also a natural coagulant. It's also a natural cholesterol and triglyceride lowerer. It will lower your cholesterol. It will lower your triglycerides naturally. It also improves circulation and blood flow throughout the body and the limbs. It's also a great pain reducer because it helps greatly with inflammations and such. It's great for swollen muscles. If you've hurt your foot or you've hurt your leg and it's swelling up, or you've hurt your hand and it's swelling up, pack some cinnamon, loose cinnamon on it, and wrap something around it to hold it there for a little while. Loosely wrap it. And it's going to improve the pain in your muscles and the swelling, both. Soak right through your skin and fix it for you. It also naturally reduces menstrual pains, which is a big one for the ladies. Instead of reaching for the Midol, reach for a capsule of cinnamon instead. You can find it on your grocery shelves in the herbal aisles. all over the place for like $2 or $3 a bottle. And it works very effectively. It also supports the colon and gives the colon good health. No more worrying about colon rectal scans, probings. I'm an exit-only kind of girl. I want my colon healthy, and I take my cinnamon daily. It also assists in natural tissue repair. And it protects the neurons in your brain. Guys, can you believe that freaking cinnamon is so amazing? And I'm not even done reading the list yet. So I'm going to reiterate. It protects the neurons in your brain. Hello? It reduces inflammation. It removes free radicals. It slows the aging process. It's very high in antioxidants. It will lessen or remove allergic reactions to several things, almost virtually everything. And that includes asthmatic allergy reactions, by the way, because I also was diagnosed with asthma at the age of 23, and I do not take an inhaler or anything. Nothing. And I used to be really big on popping the Mucinex and hitting the inhaler deal, right? Not anymore. I take cinnamon daily to help with that and other things. I also make a tincture of mullein. The plant mullein is a great elixir to use for respiratory health. It's incredible. God literally gave us everything we need, guys. Everything we need. And I probably know about all of it because I've studied herbology and practiced it for over 30 years now. And again, I'm 50 years old. I started out small with like 25, 30 things that were my go-tos, and I built my resume of knowledge upon that, and it's quite extensive. I purchased 7 or 8, 10 books and delved into a lot of learning about all of the wonderful things that God gave us on this beautiful green earth that are for literally everything we can think of that we need mended, tended, or fixed. So cinnamon is also very high in antioxidants, as I said, and it lessens allergic reactions. It's also great for treating skin rashes, infections, and allergic reactions on the skin, and a whole host of skin ailments, including rosacea and acne, and even eczema. And what's the other one called? It's worse than eczema. I'll come to it in a minute. My brain just went dead on it. But I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But especially if you mix a little bit of honey with the cinnamon in the essential oil form, and you rub it on your skin rash, you rub it on your poison ivy, whatever it is, it will heal it. It also is a natural energy increaser. If you ingest cinnamon daily, you will have a whole host of health beneficial things going on within you, including energy. It is also antimicrobial, antifungal, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-parasitic. That's right. Oh, and did I mention so is tea tree oil? And yes, it will even help you to get over the common cold, strep throat, pneumonia, and any flu. And that's a drop the mic moment, guys. Cinnamon. It also does wonders for your mouth. It fights bad breath. It fights tooth decay. It prevents cavities. And yes, you can brush your teeth with cinnamon. It's actually very, very fun to do. and cleans your teeth wonderfully and makes your mouth taste and smell great. It's also very good for using on mouth ulcers and mouth infections. If you use a powder or a mix of warm water, you can brush your teeth with it, or you can use it as a mouth rinse. It also removes candida in the body. You know, those nasty yeast infections in our digestive tract that wreak havoc on our system and prevents autoimmune disorders. Let me say it again. It prevents autoimmune disorders. It is very rich in fiber, very rich in manganese, calcium, magnesium, potassium, copper, zinc, B6, niacin, and vitamin E. It is a natural antihistamine. It fights histamine reactors in the airways and assists greatly with onset asthmatic reaction or allergies. We can use cinnamon as a natural sweetener in our foods and drinks as well, so that you can reduce the amount of sugar that you actually intake. Other great uses are outside of the human body and consumption. You can use it as a dusting powder for your fruits and your veggies to keep them fresh longer, and completely gnat free. They are a great fruit fly deterrent. They also are very great for getting the fleas and mosquitoes to stay away as well. But I prefer to use the oil base for those means instead. It's also actually a natural fungicide. So that's right, you heard me, a fungicide. So whether it's athlete's foot or you have mold and mildews growing in your corners of your bathroom, in your pots of your plants in the soil, or wherever it may be, you can use the cinnamon to eliminate the fungi. It's really that simple, folks. You can use it in your garden mulch to prevent mushroom growth. You can use it for plant transplanting and natural rooting powder instead of purchasing rooting powder when you're going to use a clipping and make a new plant and you love to propagate like I do. You just dip the end of your stem into the cinnamon rather than in the rooting powder. It's the same thing. It works just as great, or better, really. Don't chew on my things, puppy. Sorry guys, I have a new puppy and he wants to eat everything lately. Where was I? Ah yes. Use it in your transplanting for rooting. Simply cut your stem, make some sore spots on your stem, like if it's a rose stem that you're propagating, you want to break off the thorns to expose some of the meat inside the stem of the rose. If you don't have thorns to clip off, just simply take a knife and gently scrape the outer woody area of your stems and then dip it into the cinnamon after you've let that dry out completely so that the cinnamon will stick well. And then put it straight into the soil. You can wrap the cinnamon dust around a stem before covering completely with the soil also if you like, to ensure that it stays around the stem. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, it's a great ant deterrent. No respectful ant will dare cross a threshold that's dusted with cinnamon, I'll guarantee you that. And I used to use cornmeal before I figured out the cinnamon trick, which also works in a pinch if you don't have the cinnamon. Cornmeal also will work. It's also great to ward off our furry little friends that love to eat our veggies. as a deterrent to them by its pungent smells. This would include the list of rabbits, squirrels, chipmunks, moles, groundhogs, and deer. That's right, moles. They don't want anything to do with the cinnamon. So, as a precaution, do not overuse cinnamon internally within the body system because it can hinder your liver function if it's taken in too high level of dosages or too often. So start out small, get a capsule that has the lowest milligrams possible in it, and only take one a day, perhaps even more like one every other day, just to ensure that there's not too much in your body because, there's quite a bit of cinnamon in that little capsule. Or just put it in all your food and drinks, like I said at the beginning of it, right? And as well, again, as a reminder, anyone with low blood sugar, also known as hypoglycemia, should use it in moderation as to not lower their sugar levels too terribly low. Now, over time, once your body is acclimated to having the sugar, for the low blood sugar people I'm speaking to, it will start to regulate and then raise your blood sugar to a healthy level where it needs to be rather than lowering it. And just a side note, while we're talking about lowering blood sugar, marijuana is also a natural blood sugar lowerer. It lowers the blood sugar. So for all of you people who are pot smokers out there and you've not eaten a meal or not had adequate enough food in your body and you smoked a little marijuana and suddenly felt very lightheaded, dizzy, and weak and shaky, maybe even, that was the effects of the marijuana drastically dropping your blood sugar. So if you're going to smoke, make sure you eat first. Because low blood sugar levels can actually be life-threatening. Of course, ask your doctor if you're on any type of medications or have any type of medical issues before self-medicating with any type of herb or spice. Obviously, I am not a doctor or a scientist with any type of degree. I am merely Kelly Robertson, aka Earthsong Lovecraft, with Beacon News, who happens to know a whole hell of a lot about the herbs and their benefits. But yeah, just for safety's sake, talk to your doctor if you're not sure, and don't try to self-regulate or self-medicate. Medicate. I was going to say it the right way the first time and thought it was wrong. I'm all kinds of messed up. Okay, I guess I sound like I've had too much cinnamon and smoked the pots, huh? Anyway, I wanted to share my really great, fun things that we can do for home remedies. I haven't done this for a really long time, and I mean, this is part of my lifestyle, my daily lifestyle. I just feel like a lot of people get bored with hearing me talk about all the wonderful things about herbs that we can do around our house with everyday products that we use all the time. So I kind of strayed away from it a bit, but I mean, this is something I really love to do. It's, like I said, it's part of my daily life. I teach it to my children. They help me make things. It's a really great way to bond and do arts and crafts and get your stuff made all at the same time. So, that's our gig. That's what we do here, me and my two kids. We do crazy, wild things with herbs and fun things. And it teaches them great, and I enjoy using them. I'm a really big stickler about chemical products. I have some air fresheners and things like that I like to kind of spray around once in a while, that have essential oils in them and stuff. And I have a can of window cleaner that I keep around for cleaning the mirrors and stuff really good. But by the way, the vinegar is very good for cleaning windows. I use it to clean my car windows instead of Windex. But I like that spray can foam cleaner sometimes for windows, occasionally. And so I have a can of that I've had for a while. And I had a friend over for a party one time, and I don't know what possessed her to do this, but she picked up my window cleaner spray can and sprayed it all over the front of my stainless steel refrigerator and started wiping it down with window cleaner. And I just kind of freaked out because she just sprayed chemicals on my refrigerator. You know, my food is in there. And she's like, but your food's on the inside. And I'm like, but people are going to touch the outside. They're going to have chemicals on their hands, and then they're going to reach in there and put the chemicals inside my fridge. I just really kind of freaked out over it. I didn't get mad at her. I just, took the can from her and started wiping everything down. Because that's what I do. I don't get mad. I just correct whatever just happened. I just take it away from them and correct it. I'm the mama for everybody. I'm everybody's mama. I can't help it. I probably could help it, but I kind of like the way I am, so I won't. I won't help it. My dog is trying to eat my cords. This crazy puppy. He's beautiful and sweet, and usually he's good. But, not right at this moment. Little stinker. His name is Lucky. Would you like to see my puppy? Come here. Come here. Come here. Tell everybody hi. Tell everybody hi. This is my beautiful boy. This is my beautiful boy. I love him much. Yes, and he loves me. But he's a stinker. And what else? Do I want to tell you anything else? Be sure to check out the website, everybody, because first of all, I've done a whole bunch of stuff there to fix it, to hopefully make it more user-friendly. That was my goal. And I also fixed the app for the website to be more user-friendly. So please check those out. But the reason I said go to the website is because I have this really amazing new quantum regression healing technique that I'm doing. And I'm offering it to the first 69 people that sign up completely free. Your first session is completely free. And I take you into the quantum field with me. I just made a little video ad for it that's on YouTube and everywhere. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. The people that I've already used it on have had immensely, deeply beneficial healing from this on so many levels that even they didn't anticipate or expect. And well, really, I didn't either, to be honest. In one session, the lady's deceased grandfather even showed up. I channel people, I do that. I channel people to speak to their loved ones and give them messages and stuff. I've done that for years. But I didn't anticipate that it would happen in the regressions. And it actually happened in a regression. And I'm like, oh no, why is Grandpa showing up right now? I'm like, bad timing, Grandpa. But no, actually, Grandpa was there to help. He had a message for me to tell to her that actually she needed to hear to understand a whole host of other things that had happened and to heal from it, to forgive it, and to love herself and to heal from it. And I was just like, oh my God, this is like amazing. This is so amazing. It's been so beneficial, and I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited to offer it. And so yeah, the first 69 people that sign up get the first session absolutely free. 33 people after that will get it 50% off. I have it at $269 on the website. Currently there's no price on it, so so that all of you can sign up for free. But after that, it'll be $269 per session. So those next 33 will get it for half price. And if you need a second session, as long as you book at least the first class, which is Mastery of Self, which is vitally important for you to know so that you can do the maintenance that you need to do within the healing of the body, mind, and soul to keep that band-aid there forever or completely heal it forever, however you want to look at it. You need to know your maintenance. So I have a deal for you. If you will take the class, if you will book the class and purchase it after you've booked the second session, well, I mean, you don't have to do it first. You could do either way. I'm going to refund 50% of the session, the second session, back to you for booking the first class. Now, if you book the first, there's 5 classes total that I would really love for everybody to take, but realistically, I know you're not all going to take all 5 of them because you don't want to go to that level, right? And that's fine. But the first 2 are the real fundamental, foundational classes that you need to have under your belt to do proper maintenance once we do this healing. And so if you book both classes, 101, Mastery of Self, and 202, Understanding and Comprehension of Energy, then I will give you 72% refund back on your second session that you need for healing, your second quantum healing session. And it's really amazing, the journey that we take together doing this type of regression therapy. Really amazing, really enriching. And I enjoy doing them. I enjoy the experience. And I feel like I'm learning even deeper understandings of the quantum field and the beauty of the soul by doing these. I'm really blessed to have this to offer to you, and I really want all of you to participate and take advantage of this because I truly do want to heal the world. I truly do. One soul at a time. I'm going to heal the world. And hopefully some of you out there listening and watching will want to learn so that you can participate and help me to heal the world. Because together we really can change so much, guys. We really can. We really are who we've been waiting for. We really are. And I'm going to close by reading my favorite little thing I've been reading at the end of my videos lately that I wrote a while back. On this journey, we are all here to awaken our inner truths. We walk the same path, yet no 2 stories are ever the same. We are connected as one through our collective consciousness, although every single sacred soul is uniquely individual. I deeply honor your soul energy. This path, I know, is challenging. But you've been put here at this very moment in time because of your courage, your strength, and all of it is for the greater good. And you know it. I know it. It's for the greater good of humanity and our precious Mother Earth. Ascension means changing us to change the future timeline, which is the ultimate goal of the Great Awakening. It's one where our children and our children's children will really truly know a world of peace and harmony and balance, and taught to know thyself. We are the way showers. We are the light. We pave the way for all here on earth and for all of the creations of life here. It truly is a very special time to be alive. And with all of our intentions set together for love and respect and peace and harmony and balance, good will prevail. I want to thank you personally for being a part of the greatest story of truths and unity that will be told for eons to come. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being on this journey with me. Be well, be blessed, in love and light. Until next time, guys.